Hey everyone, it's Kerri-Ann and I'm back today with a little video showing you some brand new pens that I have added to my collection. So anyone that knows me knows I'm a big fan of Tonic Studios and their Nuvo range. I love all the different mediums, I love the embossing powders, the drops, the mousses, and most recently I fell in love with the alcohol markers. I was a bit concerned, I have to admit, because they offer a chisel tip and a bullet tip, and I'm not a massive fan of chisel tip pens. However, when I tested them at the trade shows, I was really pleased with how the pens blend, and I actually found myself quite enjoying working with the chisel tip. So I invested in my first set of the alcohol markers, and then I will get the new ones because they've just launched some new colours as soon as I can afford them. So I'm going to show you just a little look at my pens, and I will go through the ones that I've got, and I thought whilst I'm talking you through the pens I will colour in the colour wheel. Now if you have any Nouveau pens then you can get hold of this Nouveau Chart. Now this chart you can download via the Tonic Studios group. I think it's on Facebook, and it's called Tonic Studios official Facebook group. And it's really handy because in the files they've actually put all of these charts that relate to a lot of the Nouveau products. So it's really great if you want to add yourself to the group, and then you can get hold of these, download them and print them. Now I've just printed this onto some super thick card because obviously when working with any alcohol markers it's really important that you work on a good sturdy card. And then what I'm going to do is put a copy of paper underneath just in case of any bleed, because you don't want the bleed from an alcohol pen to then come back in through the paper, because if it went onto the table it could then rub into the back of my paper and I don't want it to come back through. So I'm just putting copier to soak it up. Now this first set of pens that I'm going to put onto my chart is the Supreme Metallics, and again, top things that I love about the Nouveau alcohol markers is they feel nice to hold. They're an oval shape, they're not squared, they haven't got any jagged sort of edges. For when I'm colouring it feels nice. They're not too heavy, they're nice and light, and I also love the fact that you can tell which is the chisel and which is the bullet without any fuss. Obvious, because that's the larger, that's the smaller. So I really do love how they feel and the way that they thought about the packaging. The other good thing is obviously you've got the colour at the end and you've got the number, so you can identify them when you're putting in your pen stands. Now they do advise obviously that you keep your markers flat, and they advise that with all alcohol markers. So top tip is to get yourself a pen stand or rest them in a basket, and that will look after your pens for you. Now as you can see, these ones are actually a metallic colour and they are really luscious. They go on really nice and smoothly, and I'm really pleased with those. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put these, as I use them, straight into my stand, but I am going to keep this part of the packaging, and I do have that for most of my pens. For example, I've got it here for my brush pens, so I keep all of the packaging because it's quite nice to have the hints and tips and the do's and don'ts on the back, because they do that, so I know I can pick them up and remind myself because I'm very forgetful, and also the colours, and that will help remind me what colourways I have in my collection, and also the colours that I then need to collect. So what you'll hear now in the background is me just popping those into my stand, and we'll move on then to Fragrant Oranges. So this colour wheel, I love the way it's designed as well. It's not sort of squares all over. I love the fact that it spins around in the wheel. So we're going to look for the oranges. We've got 389, so we'll just start putting that one in here. So as I say, I really like working with the bullet tip end, and that's the end that I'm going to choose to use whilst I'm colouring in the wheel. And 393. So this one's, oh, that's a really lovely one. So I can imagine those colours working really well for pumpkins, and also I think probably mixing those with the browns for my Finley Fox stamp, because obviously I use a lot of our Imagine Design Create stamps, and these will hopefully then help me in the colouring process. So this is the browns. Let's see if we can spot where the browns are. There we are. So we've got 461, which I'm just going to put in there. I've decided I didn't want to colour the whole circle. I wanted to just do the sort of a scribble inside the circle. Now, the main reason I decided that is because I thought to myself, if I go out the line on the oval, not circle, if I go out the line on the oval on just one of them, especially if I was to do that towards the end, I would be so frustrated with myself that I would probably have to reprint another one and start again, because I hate going out the line. So I thought if I make it look like this straight from the off and not like it needed to be perfect, just scribbles inside, I was less likely to get annoyed with myself and have to redo it. So we're moving now on to Stormy Grays. And let's see if we can find the greys. So it's here. So we've got 489. Pop that one onto there. And you can tell the quality of these because they very quickly, you can see very quickly the colour blends into one. It's not like when you work with some cheap alcohol markers, which, you know, we're all guilty of trying them, thinking that they're going to, you know, help save us money. Let's try the cheap alcohol markers. Do you know what? I tried them. I tried a selection of different ones from online sites, and I got so frustrated with the way they wouldn't apply properly that I just ended up giving them to the kids and they then use them, because they don't blend as well as these. See, the cheap ones sort of, they just look like felt tip markers where you get the lines and the streaks, but these I'm really pleased with. Straight away you can see that lovely smoothness as they blend in. So we're moving on to the Sunshine Yellows. So the yellows are up here, and the woofing in the background you can hear is little Lexi. It's evening as I film this now. It's around 8 o'clock at night, so I've only just put my little ones up to bed, and I thought I'm gonna spend the evening colouring in the colour wheel with my new Nouveau markers. So that was the yellows. Put them straight into my stand as well. And we're moving on to the Woodland Greens now. So a lovely set of greens. And 413, let's go on to here. And then 415. So my aim is to do a lot more videos for you over the coming weeks and months, although we are really busy at Imagine Design Create in the shop, and also we've got lots of exciting news coming up soon. So do stay tuned on this page, my personal page, and YouTube, and also on the Imagine Design Create YouTube channel, where you will find lots of information. And on the 7th of April, which is my birthday, but is also the 1 year anniversary of when we launched the Imagine Design Create stamps. If you stay tuned, on the 7th of April we have a big announcement to make, and it will explain a little bit as to why we have been crazy busy recently but not so active on social media, why we've been so busy. Anyway, back to my lovely pens. So we're moving on to the rich reds. So 377, let's go for that one there. So I'm really, really pleased already with the quality of these and how smooth they are in the application. And 381. It's a really nice berry colour. Loving those. So I'm just putting them, the noise you can hear, I'm putting them into like a clear pen stand. It's a flat clear pen stand. I shall put a photo up onto my Instagram. So this is the fair and skin tone. So it must be up here, 473. I'll just put those in. 475. And 477. Now, alcohol markers, obviously there is a lot more you can do with them than just colouring in your images onto card, obviously. You can do other sort of techniques with them, with blending alcohols. So what I'm going to do is a separate video on tips and techniques with alcohol markers, with the Nouveau markers. This video is just really to show you my new pens and the colour wheel, and just show you how good all of the colours are. Now these are the blues, Marina Blues. Find that one there. So 427. 425 and 429. Now you'll notice there's going to be some gaps when I finished, and that's because this is the new colour chart, because I fully intend on treating myself at some point to the rest of the colours that are available now. So I will very soon get the rest of the colours, and then I shall do a video on completing my colour chart. 441. So there's only 2 more left now. Oh no, 1 pack left now to open. Okay, so the last set that I have is the Depths and Shadows set. So this is the most important one actually, because this has the black, which we're going to need. It has the shadow effect, so the 485, which you can see is really light grey, and it has the blender. Obviously there's not too much point in me showing what that looks like because you won't be able to see it very well because it's the alcohol blender pen. So that's all of the pens. They're all sitting nicely now in my stand, and I can't wait to get the rest of the colours. Hopefully you found this video useful. You can see just how fantastic the Nouveau Alcohol Marker pens are. If you've got any questions about them, or you'd like to see any specific techniques with me using the alcohol pens, then do get in touch. Happy crafting, everyone!